All right, I started the recording. Excuse me if I have sniffles or um, anything. Do you have tissues actually in your room? Thank you. Oh, goodness. Oh. Thank you. Oh, goodness. All right. Thank you for the tissues. All right, so why don't we start off with a little talk about how you feel about writing today? To be honest, I know that you're about to start school next week. So are you excited? Excited for school? What are you most excited for? You're not sure. Yeah, so maybe you're excited to find out what you're gonna do, right? In third grade, there's a lot of big things that you do. So third grade is a big step from second grade. You start to read a lot more, start to write a lot more. So I'm glad that we did this summer, so you are ready to go once you get in there, right? All right. So today, this little writing activity that you're doing is going to be something that you'll do in school as well. Okay. Um, so to start, we're gonna do. Remember how we did a spelling test kind of last time? We did like a little spelling test. I gave you words and you spelled them. I don't remember. It's okay. We're gonna do another one since you did so well on that last one. We're gonna do another one today. Yeah. Yep. Let's do a spelling test. And you have a pencil? Perfect. I'm going to ask you or tell you a word, and then you are going to say it. Okay, I'm going to ask you to spell some words, spell them as best as you can. Some of the words will be easy to spell, and some may be difficult. When you do not know how to spell a word, spell it the best that you can. Okay? All right. So this is the guide I will be using for assessment. We're doing the ESI since the primary one was completed with only 3 misspells. So let's begin. First word is bed. Bed. I hopped out of bed this morning. bed. Ship. The ship sailed around the island. Ship. When? When will you come back? When? Lump. He had a lump on his head after he fell. Float. I can float on the water with my new raft. Float. Train. I rode the train to the next town. Train. Place. I found a new place to put my books. Place. Drive. I learned to drive a car. Drive. Bright. The light is very bright. She went shopping for new shoes. Shopping. Sorry. Shopping. She went shopping for new shoes. Right? Spoil. The food will spoil if it's not kept cool. Spoil. Serving. The restaurant is serving dinner tonight. Chewed. The dog chewed up my favorite sweater yesterday. Good. Carries. She carries apples in her basket. Carries. Marched. We marched in the parade. Marched. Shower. The shower in the bathroom is very hot. Shower. Bottle. The bottle broke into pieces on the floor. Bottle. Favor. He did his brother a favor by taking out the trash. Ripen. The fruit will ripen over the next few days. Ripen. Cellar. I went down to the cellar for a can of paint. Cellar. Pleasure. It was a pleasure to listen to the choir sing. Pleasure. Fortunate. It was fortunate that the driver had snow tires. Fortunate. Confident. I am confident that we can win this game. Civilize. They wanted to civilize the forest people. Civilize. And last, you need a time with that one. Civilize. Okay, and opposition. The coach said the opposition would be tough. Opposition. Try your best. Opposition. Awesome. Thanks, dear. Nice work. All right, let me just check this. I'm going to take some time to complete this inventory. Let's work on these. You did so good on this. So 1, 2, 3. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So just 7 misspelled.
How much did we do?
There was 25 words. You did a great job. So there's 2 words that I feel like you would know the mistake that you made. So shopping.
Oh, it has 2 P's?
Yeah, and you can hear it. Shopping, shopping, right? They don't say shop. Some people say shopping. I say shopping, right? Shopping. So you can hear it. There's that double P. And then carries, when we have a Y at the end of a word, often we don't put an S after, right? We change it to an IES, and you know that, right? That's a rule. So if there's a Y at the end of a word, and you want to make it plural, right? You need to make it more than one, or add an S to the word. You drop the Y and add IES. Okay, you know that. And then these words, I think, are just unfamiliar words, right? So seller, this was the correct spelling if you were talking about somebody selling something, right? That's seller. But
is this like a C?
You got it. CELLAR, seller. That's like a basement, another word for a basement. And then pleasure, you were so close. You just needed to add a. It's just a silly vowel that's in there. Pleasure. You don't really hear it. You got fortunate. That's awesome. Confident. We just needed to, let's say, you just added on this ending.
E?
Is that an IE?
No.
So just an E?
Yeah.
What's this? Looks like an I. Right?
I don't know.
We have to be careful with our writing, right? So I don't know. It looked like an I to me, right? So be careful, because in 3rd grade that could get you points, so make sure you're taking your time with your writing. And that's nice and neat, because this is an extra letter here, it looks like, right? Do you agree? Okay. And then this word, do you know what the word, have you ever heard the word civilize?
Yeah.
Okay, so civilize, right? It starts with a C. And I want you to think of like a citizen. Have you ever heard of that word? Citizen. It starts with a C. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Citizen, civilize, right? So they start with a C. But you're very close with the spelling. CIVILIES. Same thing with that IES, right?
I think I was gonna write it, but I wrote that one. I'm gonna think.
Yeah, because so we have to think, right? This I right now is just civilis, right? Civilis. We need to make it a civil eyes, right? IE says I.
I'm gonna put E right here.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah, because that I consonant E will make that I say I, right? And then this word down here, opposition, you were so close. You just needed an extra P, and you would have been good. You did really great on the spelling assessment. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to take some time just to fill this out. You can take a little breather. While I'm doing this, I want you to review your brainstorming from the other day. Okay, because today you're going to write your story about your crazy vacation. Cool? All right, so go through your brainstorming, get your brain warmed up with ideas of what to write. Can you pass me a tissue, please? Thank you. Oh, goodness. Which one? Your spelling words, right? You did a great job. You're a really good speller. That's awesome. Well, focus on your brainstorming, okay? Oh my goodness, thank you. Okay. Oh goodness. All right, Sylvia. So we're at about 20 minutes. So that gives us a little under an hour, okay? I'm gonna give you about, let's do like 30 minutes. Or let's do like a 20-minute period right now. We'll do a little break and then I'll let you finish your writing, okay? So this is, let's see where it is. These are gonna be, what's up? What do you mean? Yeah, you are. You're gonna do your writing, but I'll break it up in chunks so you're not sitting for the whole time writing. Okay. So I'm going to be using these 3 rubrics. First, the handwriting rubric. This is just gonna look at if your letters are recognizable, if they're formed correctly, if the letters start and end in a correct place, if the letters are mostly placed correctly within the lines. Usually uses capital letters. Letters are usually spaced properly. Words are usually spaced properly, and return sweep is used properly. So that means going back to the next line. Okay. And then I'm also going to give this to you at the end of your writing. Yeah. And you can use this. You're going to read it. I can reread it. The story makes sense. The story has a clear beginning that describes the characters, place, and time. The story has a clear middle that describes the events or the plot. The story has a clear ending, a resolution. Each sentence is complete. I used interesting and descriptive words, and I wrote a catchy title. Okay, so this is something for you to look at to remember what to put in your story. Well, each sentence begins with an uppercase letter. I is always capitalized. Each sentence ends with the correct punctuation. Names of people at important places are capitalized. Quotation marks are used to show when someone is talking. Each new paragraph is indented. I circled the words I did not know how to spell. I used writing resources to correct the spelling words, and my handwriting is clear and legible. Okay? So that's going to be for you to remember as you're writing what to include. And then this is going to be what I'm using to grade you, okay? So this is the McAndrews rubric, okay? And for your writing today, you are going to write about your last vacation, right? So it's a narrative. So you get to tell a story. You get to add fun details that might not be true if you want. But remember, this is a realistic story, right? So you're not going to see dragons and lava on your cruise, I hope, right? But you can add some fun details if you want to make it more interesting. Okay? All right. So you may get to work. I will give you this full-size paper. I want you to remind you to remember the structure of the story, right? So have a beginning, a title, and then you need a little middle with some details of what you did, okay? So this should be a whole narrative.
But do I have to read like first, middle,
if you would like to use those transition words, you may, okay? But remember, this is a story, so you're telling a story. Why don't you think about, in your brainstorming, did you have any, I'm trying to think, it doesn't have to necessarily be a problem that you had, but maybe your overall goal can be explaining what your favorite part was or why this was your favorite vacation, right?
Okay, can I start?
Yep. So your story is going to tell us about your favorite vacation and why it was your favorite vacation. Okay? If you need a little bit more time to brainstorm, you may do that. Okay? You have the rest of our tutoring time today to write.
It's too dark in here.
Mhm.
Do I have to write the title?
Yeah, you can give it a title. Let me see the tissue size. So if you're having trouble getting started, um, since you are going into third grade, it's okay to start with one day, right? Or one hot, sunny August day, okay? That'll help you get started and that'll get you on a roll for telling your narrative. Hmm. You see this real quick. Uh, uh, Remember, you can use this always as like a reminder of what you need, okay? Or what you could be looking for. You have about 15 minutes left, okay? You're doing great. So think about where you are in your writing. You have 15 minutes to make sure that you finish and have a closing, okay?
And when I'm done,
You're all done?
what if when the 15 minutes is up, like I just have to write the end?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, you do have about 20 minutes, but you didn't take a break, so you can use up the whole 20 minutes if you need.
But if I finish in 15 minutes,
Then we're all good.
Well, I have to do this.
Well, that you don't have to complete that. That is for you if you want to complete or just keep you on track. Okay. You're doing great.
I'm gonna see if another page.
Go for it. You have about 10 minutes, okay? You should be coming to your closing, right? Ending it all off, explaining how this was the best vacation ever.
The last night.
Good job. Perfect.
I just have to write
You got it.
2 notes.
Good job. Oh, remind me, I just need to sneeze. Oof, I can't sneeze. Just about 5 minutes, okay? Well done. High five. That was a really, really great job. Shake off your wrists. I know your wrists are hurting. There you go. All done with our summer tutoring session. Look at that. Next time we meet, you'll be back to school. So exciting. Awesome work. All right, I'm going to end this here.